Hello friends, how are you all? If you watched today's video, you will learn some important things related to grafting, especially about peaches. If you're a beginner in grafting, this video will help you understand the basics. First, let's take a look at the grafting we showed in our previous video. This is the peach grafting we did earlier. As you can see, the graft has started to sprout. Please subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Now the next step is to cut the rootstock from the top above the graft. This is done so that the nutrition of the plant goes toward the graft, allowing it to grow faster and turn into a healthy plant within 1 or 2 years. Some people cut the rootstock branch from the very top right above the graft, but I usually cut it about 6 to 7 inches above the graft. There are 2 advantages to doing this. First, if you live in a hot climate and the graft dries out, the plant can sprout again from the top and the plant will not be wasted. If the graft fails and you cut the rootstock too low, sprouting becomes very difficult, especially if the plant goes into dormancy. That is why I cut it 6 to 7 inches above. This also provides support to the graft branch because I can tie it to that remaining part. Another benefit is that if the graft fails due to extreme heat, the plant can sprout again from the top. Now, this is another plant on which we have not done grafting yet. 2 of our peach plants were left without grafting. Here is another plant that we also did not graft yet. Its rootstock is suitable for grafting, but we have planted it here and we will graft it next year. Now I will show you some other plants where we already performed grafting. This is a plant on which we grafted almond, but it has not sprouted yet. This is our peach plant where we also grafted almond, but it has not sprouted yet either. The graft has joined, but it is not sprouting yet. We will wait a few more days. Now let's move to another graft. This is our peach plant where we grafted plum. Normally, plum grafting is not considered very suitable for peach, but we tried it just to see if it works, so we will wait and see the results. Here is another plum graft that we did on peach, and it has not sprouted yet either. For now, the only thing we can do is wait. If it does not work, we will remove the polythene. Now let's look at the next graft. This one is an almond graft on peach, and it has started sprouting. If you look carefully, you can see small green leaves emerging from the top. This means the graft has started growing. We will leave the polythene on it for 2 or 3 more days, and then we will remove it and cut the top of the rootstock. Now let's move to another plant. In the previous video, I showed you that the almond graft on peach had sprouted. We have already removed the polythene. Now the next step is to cut the top of the rootstock. We will cut it in the same way as we cut the previous one, leaving some portion above. You can see that this graft has become quite successful. First, I removed the leaves from the upper part of the rootstock, and now I will cut both branches from here. The reason for cutting here is that if the graft fails, the plant can still sprout from the top. In my area, the weather becomes very hot, so this precaution is important. As the graft becomes stronger and produces more shoots, I will eventually cut the top part completely. For now, we will not cut it fully. So this graft has successfully taken. Now I will show you some of my older graftings that are very important for you to see. This is a very old plum plant, almost like a tree, and I did grafting on it as well. You can even see small plums forming on it, although sometimes they fall off with time. Here you can see one graft that has not sprouted yet. But look at this other graft. It has grown about 3 to 4 inches upward. This growth happened because we used a ring-shaped put method. Due to this technique, the graft has grown very quickly. Now the graft is growing rapidly. One thing we need to do here is remove the leaves above this area so that the graft can receive more energy. This is called core grafting, and as you can see, we used a ring-shaped cut at the top, which helped the graft grow very well. Let me show you another graft. This graft has joined but has not sprouted because there is not enough sunlight reaching this area. If sunlight were available, this graft would have succeeded by now. We did budding on this plant in 2 places. This plant itself was grown from a plum cutting. One of the buds has grown very well, and you can see that the plum bud has developed nicely. The ring cut we made above it also helped a lot. Now I will cut the plant from here so that the plum graft starts growing faster. Within 2 to 3 weeks, it should grow well. Now let's see why the second bud did not sprout yet. It will probably take a few more days. Now we move to another plant. I showed this plant in a previous video as well. Here you can see that the almond graft had been opened earlier, and now it has sprouted from 2 points. For now, we will not cut the top yet. We will allow it to grow a little more and then cut it later. However, we will remove the small branches growing from the bottom so that the graft receives maximum energy and grows properly. Here is another graft. Earlier, we removed the polythene from it, but it dried out, so we covered it again. This is also an almond graft. We made a cut above it, and now you can see that it has started growing quite well from this point. So this is how grafting works, and by observing these examples, you can learn which grafts succeed, which ones fail, and what steps should be taken afterward to ensure healthy plant growth. You can see the grafting here. It looks quite good, and some of them are already sprouting. For now, I will not remove it because it will be removed later. Now look at this. This is a plum grafting, and here is another plum grafting. It has sprouted quite a lot, and you can clearly see how well it has sprouted. Here we will cut the other branches. These side branches will be removed so that all the plant's energy goes into one branch, the branch where the grafting was done. When the energy is concentrated on that single branch, it will grow faster. That is why we remove the side branches. I am explaining these grafting methods mainly for beginners, because beginners usually do not want to lose their plants due to grafting. That is why I am showing you this safer method. When the graft starts growing, you should cut the upper or side branches so that your original plant stays safe. Professional growers usually cut the entire plant and then perform cleft grafting on top of it. Their success rate is very high because they are experienced, but if you are a beginner, you should use this safer method. On this branch, there are only 2 branches, and I have grafted on both of them. You can see the upper graft, but it has not sprouted yet. So this was the plant on which I showed you the grafting. Some grafts have started growing, while others have not sprouted yet. Those that have not sprouted will also sprout soon. The ones that are not receiving sunlight are not sprouting properly yet, while those receiving sunlight have already sprouted quickly. Light plays a very important role. The grafts that receive sunlight sprout earlier, while those without light sprout later. Now I will tell you a few more things related to grafting. But before that, you can see these tiny plums here. These plums are not very good because they fall before they ripen and often spoil before maturity. However, the rootstock of this plant is very good. It can be used for grafting better plum varieties in our farm. That is the reason I keep this plant. It grows very fast and its roots are very strong. It also does not get diseases easily. That is why I plan to use this rootstock for grafting my plants next year. Now I will show you a few more things. This is an apricot graft that we did on the same plant. You can see that the apricot graft has joined here. This is clearly an apricot graft. There is another graft on the same plant, and it is also an apricot graft. I am showing you these grafts so that you can also learn how to do grafting easily. Grafting is actually not very difficult if you follow the right method. Now, in the next part of the video, I want to tell you some important things related to peaches. This is a peach tree. It is a late peach variety. It was a very big plant on which we performed grafting about 2 years ago. You can see how heavily it is fruiting now. There are many fruits on it. Let me show you the grafts on this tree. Here you can see one graft. This was a very large plant on which we grafted earlier. Here is another graft, and here is one more graft. All of these are peach grafts. This was a very good rootstock and quite an old one, which is why the grafting worked well. Here you can see another graft that we did recently this year. You can see how successfully it has grown. This peach tree now has very good peaches on it. This variety is excellent. It is a late variety, but produces very good fruit. However, there is one important thing you must do every year with peach trees. The suckers that grow from the bottom of the rootstock consume a lot of nutrition. These suckers must be removed regularly, every 3 or 4 days. If they are not removed, they grow larger and start consuming a lot of the plant's nutrients, which affects the graft and fruit production. That is why it is very important to remove them while they're still small. If you also have a peach plant, make sure you remove the suckers every few days so that your graft stays healthy. Now I am going to end this video. Please subscribe to the channel so I can continue bringing you more videos like this. Also, turn on the bell notification so you can keep receiving new videos related to peaches.